Google have just released a brand new feature that allows you to auto-record your Google Meet events using Google Calendar. Now, I'm going to show you how to set it up, how to activate it, and how to use it in this video. My name is Pete Moriarty. I've been helping small business owners systemize, organize, and scale for over 20 years, and I'm an expert in the Google Workspace ecosystem. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to auto-record your Google Meet from Calendar. You can also record any Google Meet you like manually, and I'll show you some other features like Google Meet transcriptions and how to share your screen inside Google Meet. We'll call this a little bit of a Google Meet tutorial. Let's dive right in. So before we can get Google Meet recording and automating Google Meet recording, we've got to go and switch it on. And for that, we need to go to our admin panel. Now, if you're the Google Workspace admin for your account, you can do that by going to admin.google.com. And I find the easiest thing to do in the admin panel is just to search. So I search for Google Meet or Meet settings, and that's going to bring up the Meet settings pane. Now, there's two settings that you want to switch on. Obviously, the ability to record meetings, that's probably already going to be switched on. And then when you apply these settings, you would click onto that org unit and choose to just apply the settings to that organizational unit. Now, that's called doing an override. You'll notice the override button shows up there. And that's because when you save this policy, it's not respecting the policy at the top of the tree. It's just making a policy on a subset or a group of users. Now, if you've got less than 10 people in the company, you probably don't need to worry about that. This is for like medium-sized and large businesses that are a bit more diligent and particular with their permissions and who can do what. If you're a small business, sub 10 employees, let's just skip on to the exciting stuff. We access the automatic recording feature via Google Calendar. So we're going to go to our calendar. We're going to create a new calendar event. And if you want to invite some people to that event, that's usually the best way to have a meeting added. Otherwise, if you want to do an event solo, you can do that too. And just click the add a video meeting button, and that will add the video meeting to your event. Now, after you wait a second, you'll notice a little settings wheel pops up next to the meeting, and that's where you can configure the meeting settings. Now, if you didn't know about these settings, this is where you can do things like automatically set up different breakout rooms if you want to organize that before the meeting. You can switch on host control. So if you want to run a webinar or a training session, or you've got a lot of people that might want to join and you want to designate, who can share their screen, who are the presenters, who are not allowed to present, who's not allowed to unmute themselves, well, that's where you would find all of these controls. They're called host controls. But there's a new option here now for recording. And under recording, you can choose to automatically take notes with Gemini. I would recommend that. Next, you can choose to automatically transcribe and record the meeting. And you can even choose a transcription language as well. Now, we love that because it doesn't really take up much space in your Google Drive every time a transcription is generated. But these are great for language models. Now, if I'm asking Gemini a question and I want to say to Gemini, hey, go into my Google Drive and read all the transcripts from all the meetings for the last 3 months and, just give me an update on anything that I should be mindful of or projects that I should have followed up on that may have stalled. Well, those transcriptions are going to be really useful for Gemini to be able to find that information and give that information back to you. So my recommendation is that you take notes and transcribe every meeting. And once that happens, it's going to automatically just go into your Google Drive without you having to do anything manually. Love it, Google. Now, before I show you how the automatic recording actually works in a meeting, I want to let you know that if you're a small or medium-sized business owner anywhere in the world, itGenius can help you manage your IT. If you're looking for help with Google Workspace, maybe a data migration, if you want to clean up your Google Drive, or if you just want to do an audit and see if you're getting the most out of the amazing Google ecosystem. To take advantage of that, you can click the link down below this video. And even if you're a sole trader or you just have 1 or 2 staff, we have solutions for micro and small businesses as well. We'd love to get in touch with you and help with anything in the Google or small business tech world. Now let's get back to talking about recordings. So once you've got this setting configured for your meeting, and remember that you can apply this to a once-off meeting or to a recurring meeting. Obviously, it works best if these meetings are recurring, so you don't have to go and manually set the auto record every time you create a manual meeting with someone. They're most convenient for your recurring weekly meeting with your team, for your all hands once a month, whatever you're doing on an ongoing basis. Great time to invoke the auto record. When you join the meeting and auto recording is set to on, well, it's automatically going to start recording. And if you've chosen to, transcribing the meeting as well. You can always stop it though. So if you want to stop the recording once it's started, you can click onto the Manage Recording button from the little menu down the bottom. And from there, you can choose to stop the recording, stop transcribing, and it won't re-enable itself unless someone manually switches it back on as well. Now, we'll sometimes use the stop and start feature if we start a meeting and then we decide, hey, you know what, we want like a clean recording as we move to another topic or as we transition to a different part of the meeting. So we'll stop and then we'll restart again. But for the most part, for meetings like daily huddles, we just have the auto record set to go for your life. Record it, transcribe it, take notes with Gemini. So as much as possible, we have all of our meetings documented, and that's information that we can use in the future if we need to. Remember that even if you don't necessarily have a use for what was said in a meeting last Wednesday right now, you might in the future. You might be interested to check out my recent video on the channel where I shared exactly what Gemini found out about our company, asking it to go through all of the meeting transcriptions that we've been recording for years. And that's literally thousands of meetings amongst our team. And it gave me some pretty interesting insights on the business. But that's all we've got time for today. We'll wrap it up here. Once you've enabled it in the admin panel, you can then manage recordings inside your meetings. Remember that recordings will be placed in the Google Drive of the organizer of the meeting. So you might have to find out who that person is. But thankfully, once the meeting is closed, after usually half an hour to an hour absolute maximum, you can go back to your calendar event and see neatly linked the meeting recording, all of the notes, and everything else that happened in the meeting there. Let me know if you liked this and leave a comment down below. If you want to see more, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. See you next time.